Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm gonna do a how-to video. It's gonna be real simple. You know, everybody's seen them. So I decided to get some Euro taillights. Aaron was doing a giveaway, and I didn't. Aaron was doing a giveaway, and I didn't win. But the Euro taillights scene is starting to grow on me, and I figured, you know, with my car being white, and I've seen other white cars or even light color cars, like Aaron's car, for example. Like when he put his Euro lights on there, I really thought it looked pretty good. So I just figured, why not? I'll give it a shot, you know. And so I entered his little contest that he is doing. You know, buy some T-shirts and get your name entered in to win his the Euro lights that he had. Well, fortunately, I didn't win. I was like, man. So I decided to take it upon myself and go get a set of Euro taillights myself. And so instead of going out into, like, you know, American Muscle or any of those other major car parts, I decided to go on Facebook Marketplace, and I picked me up a set. Alright, so here's what the taillights look like. Obviously the Euro styles are clear. So I paid 250 bucks for these things off Facebook Marketplace. I saw these on American Muscle for anywhere around $3, even shoot up to like the really nice ones. You're looking about $500. Yeah, I ain't gonna pay that much for taillights. So I went the cheap route, and according to the guy on Facebook, that he said he got these from American Muscle anyways. So I mean, you know they're gonna have some pretty good quality there. So yeah, I mean, $250 I think is a really good deal. So I mean, if anybody's in the market, you know, obviously, you know, shop around, you know. But I did plenty of shopping for brand new, and I thought those were a bit more than what I wanted to pay. So I decided to look out on Facebook Marketplace, and I saw plenty of them out there. So I decided to go that route. So what we're gonna do now is, so we got the trunk opened up. So what we gotta do is we gotta remove this lid, little shroud right here. I don't know if you see, there's 4 of these right here. There's one here, one here, one there, one there. We gotta remove this, and then we should be able to get behind this fabric cover around here on both sides, and we'll be able to unhook the electrical connector for the lights. And also I think there's maybe 3 or 4 10 mil nuts and bolts. So we'll take those off, slap the new lights in, plug them up, bolt them in, put it all back together, and should be good to go. Alright, so like I said, you got to remove these 4 thumb nuts. So we got one here, one there, one there, right one right there. So get these done up. Got those out the way, and just pop this off. All right, so it pops off pretty easy, just like that. All right, get that out the way. All right. So like I said, you got that shroud out the way. You got this here, this here. We're gonna have to move this out the way because there's a few more got the 3 nuts undone. Now we'll just take this electrical connector, just disconnect it, just like so. And just kind of push this thing out. Try to be gentle with it, you don't want to break it, so that way you can resell it. Alright, so we got the passenger side out. So we just undid that grommet there and just pull it out. Easy peasy. So we'll do the same thing on the other side over here. Alright, so we got the passenger side out, and now we're going to do the driver's side. So what I told you before, there's this little electrical module right here. You know, these things are very sensitive to any little touch, you know, like you could lightly hit these things, you know, by accident, and something will go wrong with these things. I dealt with this a whole lot when I was a mechanic working at Ford. So what we're going to do is there's one little nut holding this thing in, and so yeah, so we got to figure out what size nut. It's probably a 8 mil. So we're gonna just unbolt that, move it out the way. You know, like I said, you don't want to hit those things, because you know these with any car that I've ever worked on, like these electrical modules, they are so sensitive to any kind of small impact. So we're just gonna play it safe, move it out the way, and get to the other nut on the other side. So let's figure out what size nut we need. I'm pretty sure it looked like it was an 8 mil. It might be smaller. So I got an 8 mil here. Yeah, 8 mil. Nice. So I got this little contraption here that I picked up. Awesome. That way the little stud will fit through this little hole, and I ain't gotta worry about it. So we'll get that little module out the way and proceed on to remove the other tail light. Alright, so I tried removing that thing. It was more than just a little nut. There was some kind of like a metal keeper behind it. There's behind it, you can't see it. I didn't want to break this thing, so I'm just gonna play it safe and just carefully work around it. I think we should be able to get the electric ratchet in there. No big deal. So we'll just, like I said, we'll just play it safe, go slow, make sure you know, we don't make any sudden impacts, trying to be rough with this thing. So we'll just go that route, play it safe, because man, you mess up these modules, man, you are in some trouble. All right, so I got both tail lights out. Like I said, had to work around that electrical module. No big deal. I was able to just push this thing out the way, and I got the electrical ratchet back there and got it off. Just like the passenger side, just route the grommet, the electrical connection up to this grommet, and just pulls all out. So there they are. So if anybody wants them, 200 bucks. How about that? All right, so with any kind of electrical work, what I learned when I worked at Ford is you always want to for any electrical connection, you want to make sure that you use a dielectric grease for electrical connectors, because there is like a little bit of room in between the pins and the little electrical receptacles. So like it's not going to be like a really tight fit, so it just prevents any kind of arcing in the electrical connectors itself. So like I said, just a little dab will do you on here for the electrical connectors here. So before we attach these, I'll put some grease on there. You don't need a whole lot, like I said, just a little bit to get down in those pins, like I said, to prevent any kind of electrical arcing, because man, if electrical arcing occurs, it'll burn up these wires, these connectors, and your taillights won't work, and the cops will stop you and give you a ticket for having busted taillights. Alright, so I got the dielectric grease on there. So if you can see, just a little bit of film on there. You don't want to glob this stuff in there, because that's way too much. So you just need just a little bit of that. Alright, there's the passenger side. I think it looks pretty good. you know, compared to the red, I think it'll look pretty sharp. So when installing this, you know, it wasn't really hard. You got these two bolts here, the electrical connector down there, then you got one more nut back there, and that's it. So we're gonna repeat the process on the other side and we'll be done. All right, there she is, finished. Let's see what she looks like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That looks real good. Let's test it. Sweet. Alright. So before we button it up all the way, I'm gonna give it a little test. Make sure all the make sure the hazards work, make sure your turn signal works, make sure your brake lights work, all that good stuff. Because nothing more irritating than hooking in a freaking headlight or tail light and turn signals, brake lights. None of that stuff works. So make sure. I just got done checking all the lights. They work perfect. Turn signals work. The hazard lights work, brake lights work, everything's good to go. So we're just gonna throw this little plastic shroud back on and call it good. All right, so there you have it. Everything's put back together. I got it, pulled it up a little bit so that way you can see a little bit better look of it. Had it in the garage a little bit, but yeah, I dig it. You know, with the white car. I mean, the whole black and white thing going on. I like it. So, that being said, that's gonna wrap up today's video. I hope it was informative to anybody out there, to any of the do-it-yourself mechanics, instead of taking it somewhere and have it put on. You know, just follow this video. Make sure you get the right tools. Take all the precautions that I told you about, especially with that electrical module. Just be careful, work slow, be smart, and it'll all come out looking just like this. So look sharp. I mean, like I said, I like it. It looks good. Definitely gives the car a different look, you know. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and close this one out. But before I close it out, so a few weeks ago, I was watching the 24 Hours at Lemans race, and I came up with this idea. I'm sure it's probably not going to go anywhere, but I figured, like, man, would this be awesome to do? I thought of, what, 2 years ago in 2023, when Hendrix Motorsports ran the NASCAR at the 24 Hours at Le Mans with the, they call it the Garage 56 entry. And so what that is, with the Garage 56 entry, it's basically taking any kind of like automotive innovation or any kind of technology advancement and basically putting it into a car and running it through its paces. And so I had this really nuts idea, like, why not? I mean, has there ever been a factory car, like factory, not something that a race team builds, like a legit factory car off the showroom floor, out of the Ford manufacturing facility? Has anybody ever taken a car such as this, threw a bunch of parts at it, you know, and turn it into a race car and potentially run the 24 Hours of Le Mans? at the Garage 56 entry. Now with that Garage 56 entry, you're just out there having fun, basically putting the car through its paces. Like, can this car, with all this technological advancements or whatever you do to it, can it survive 24 hours? And I was like, the wheels are turning. I was like, can this be done? I don't know, what do you think? Would you, YouTube world, be interested in seeing something like that? Can we, me, and anybody out there that's watching this, can we push that? And I challenge you all to, let's see if we can get this thing off the road, you know? Get it up in the air. Can we turn a 2020 Mustang into a potential Garage 56 entry and race it at 24 hours at Le Mans? That is like, if it can be done, I say let's try and do it. So, but I think for something of that magnitude, you gotta like know somebody. So if anybody that sees this works at Ford Motor Company and y'all want to see another Mustang on the track competing, well, not really competing with anybody except yourself and all the parts that are thrown at it, yeah. So, well, yeah, tell me what you think. Could it be done? Is it even worth my time, or is this just me chasing a pipe dream? But if there's any racers out there and you're seeing this, what do you think? Drop a comment. Let me know. Because, I don't know. I think it'd be fun, be worth doing. But anyways, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. If you definitely, if you found the video very informative and it's going to help you changing out those tail lights, please drop a like, hit that subscribe, leave a comment, and until next time, see ya.